You know,
Right.
I mean, it's
Right.
awesome. But
Yeah, it's so bizarre. My sister just built a home down here in '04 in Kansas City, and it was just a little bit over $300,000, and I'm thinking to myself, this is just crazy the way things have gone, and I myself would never do it. I've done it. I had a house built, and I regret it now. I wish I would have bought an older place and taken the money that I would have saved and rehabbed it and done all the work myself. But
well,
I think like I told you before, I live in a neighborhood that's relatively, I think the youngest people that live there are in their early 60s, and I'm the only one. So sometimes it's a little crazy. It's a little crazy because that's where the studio is, And my neighbors see my clients pull up, with their vans come piling out, crazy metal kids, and they get a little. I'm sure they get a little freaked out, but I gotta say that's
there goes the neighborhood.
Yeah, there goes the neighborhood. Gino's got a van full of Cheech and Chong's jumping out with guitars. Here we go,
That's one thing. But speaking of the metalheads, go ahead, finish.
No, that was about it.
Oh well, speaking of the metalheads, I work with these kids, and I love my job, but I'm new to it too. So there's also that time that's going to come along where things are going to start bothering me, and man. This one guy, and the rest of them seem to be okay with it, but he really liked that music where it's just like the singing,
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
And
I'm like, I'm too old for that now. There's no melody.
Yeah.
There's nothing. I don't even understand. Now I know I'm old. My dad used to say that. I can't understand what the hell they're saying. Well, now I know how he felt because I can't fucking understand a word, I said to one of the kids, and he laughed. He goes, I call them kids, but they're young men. I said, yeah, he sounds like he was a child that cried and was very angry and then grew up.
Right. Yeah, and you're right. A lot of those guys, the goth kids and stuff, and I'm not into that type of metal. I like a lot of some of the new things, but I'm stuck in the '80s. The glam bands and Dokken and bands like that, and you could probably tell by some of the stuff that I write myself.
Yeah, I could see it in your style. Yeah.
So, but when I refer to the word metal, that's what I'm referring to.
Right. Well, it's changed a lot.
Guitar, Yngwie Malmsteen and George Lynch and guys like that, Robin Trower and
Oh man, I saw Robin Trower 3 times.
Great guitarist. Just one of the best guitarists.
Yeah, and I saw him in really, really small venues. So it wasn't at the peak of his career, but I saw him on these smaller tours, a little small venue. Oh, such a good time, such a great show.
Yeah, and nowadays I really enjoy that, going to a small place where you can actually sit down and.
Oh man!
When I was a teenager, you love to go to concerts.
When you were a teenager, did you go to like the arena rock shows and stuff, and you get lost? And you can't buy beer, and you smuggle booze in, and they search you at the door, and then you do too many drugs, and you get lost. And
you can walk around smoking a joint. There's cops standing 10 feet from you, and you got a big joint going, and they what are they going to do,
But I actually prefer going to the small venue as a grown-up and sitting down at a table with a drink in my hand watching a great show,
Yeah, exactly. And I still enjoy doing that. Getting me out of the house to do stuff is a little difficult.
Yeah.
I don't like being around a whole lot of people.
Well,
I'm one of those kind of people. I don't like to be around a million people. I don't like going to ball games and doing stuff like that. I just as soon sit at home and watch a NASCAR race.
I'm a solitary kind of person by nature.
Yeah.
There's a great line in the movie Barfly where Faye Dunaway asked the Mickey Rourke playing Charles Bukowski. She says, "Do you hate people? Do you hate people too?" And he says, "All I know is that I feel better when they're not around."
Yeah.
And I relate to that. I don't hate people.
Yeah.
I just feel better when they're not around.
That's right. I don't want to hear everybody else's conversation. I want to go out and enjoy myself and have a dinner, have a drink. I don't want to necessarily be in some huge venue where, you know, you're shoulder to shoulder. I remember going to those giant arena places and going to a stadium.
I mean, it was
and,
interesting at the time, you know.
It was good then, but it's not good now. I have no craving to go to, you know, like the Oz Fest or the Crew Fest or whatever you want to do, you know.
Yeah.
It's not a place to go enjoy hearing a band, you know. To be honest with you, not to eat up your time here, but I have fallen in love with this band they're from around you someplace. I don't know if you've heard of them. I might have mentioned them to you before, but it's a band called Steel Dragon, and they're a farce. They're like a joke metal glam band. They do like a little comedy skits between the songs, and they play Motley Crue and Poison and stuff like that. But it's a joke.
Do they play?
They play at the Key Club out in California. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
No, you mentioned that before, but I think there's somebody else doing that sort of thing. Because a guy at work said there was a band they went to go see, and basically it's a spoof. They're wearing like spandex, you know, and big hair wigs and stuff. And this guy's a lot younger than me, so that was before his time. But he really enjoyed it. He thought it was hilarious.
I tell you what, if I ever take a trip out that way, I want to try and see them. It's just fantastic. I mean, they're young kids. I mean, they make fun, you know, saying that they're in their 50s and they've been around since the 80s, and it's taken them 30 years to become famous, you know. Which is funny because they're, you know, as well as I do, there are still guys out there that are in their early 50s, mid 50s, are still banging away trying to be a famous.
Oh, well, that's funny. Yeah, these young guys are they're in bands, and what cracks me up is like one guy's in 4 bands, the other guy's like in 3 bands, the other guy's like in 4 bands. I go, are any of you in the same band? And they're like, no. They're all roommates. They all live. He calls himself an anarchist. They live in this one. There's all these like. There's 10 people that live there, and then there's like 10 people that sleep on the floor. You know, so it sounds like chaos. But they're doing a show up in Fresno this weekend. They may not. The 3 of these guys may not show up for work Monday, but they've mentioned to me that they'd have fun if I went to go see one of their shows. And then on the subject about older rock and rollers, they've got like and they do punk. They do some sort of punk thing besides the metal stuff, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
And they've got like a 50-year-old punker in one of the bands. I was like, right on. But my question was, and Gino, no offense, but did this guy ever get married and raise kids? And probably the answer is no, because if all the people that I knew that I grew up with that were in bands, once they got married, it was it. It was over. You know?
Yeah. I know my girlfriend gets a kick out of me because on YouTube I watch them, you know. And because everybody now carries a camera phone, and you know they upload on YouTube, and which I love because I get a chance to see it and hear it, you know.
Yeah.
But she makes fun of me. You know, we'll be sitting in bed at night, and she'll be watching the news show or something, and I've got my laptop in front of me and the headphones on it, and I'm laughing away, you know, just going bizarre. And she's like, "What is the matter with you? These guys are absolutely out of their minds." You know, it's just this crazy. She doesn't get it. You know, it's not her style of music, but it's hilarious. It is. It's hilarious. And I mean, these guys aren't. You know how everybody in the '80s, you had to have that. You know, you had to be whacked out on coke or heroin or whatever to make it through like all this stuff. I've been reading a lot lately. I finished reading The Dirt by Motley Crue, and then I read the Heroin Diaries by Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue. And
oh, really? So these guys are coming out with autobiographies now, or biographies?
I'm sorry, say that again?
They're coming out with, some of these rockers are coming out with biographies or autobiographies?
Right, yeah. And I'm actually right now, I'm about at the end of a book called Mustaine, and it's Dave Mustaine from Megadeth. And I just get a kick out of, you know, them talking about the 80s and how they made it through the 80s and all this, and it's beyond me that
it was
millions of dollars that they made, and they blew it on drugs, and you know, now they're thrash and to try to keep their head above water.
Well, and the record industry was much different then too. I mean, we were all kind of a slave to buying CDs or before that vinyl. And I don't know if we were slaves to it, but it was a business. And now it's with the digital age, it's going to have to completely reinvent itself. And and I was asking these kids about young men about how they promote, and these guys, they don't even really use the internet. They just have their own like word of mouth. I don't know, like the word goes out. There's going to be a show, and people show up. You know. Yeah.
So. And the kind of music I like, it's pretty much dead. You can't get a record company to pick you up or do anything about it. And I think we touched on this once before about how the internet has been such a great outlet for bands to get their music out there. Otherwise, guys would never been heard or even played on the radio. And now you can just do your own gig. You can get on iTunes. You can sell your stuff. You can go to the website and sell your own CDs and a song at a time. And it's just
it's complete. It's changed.
You see what happened in the 80s and the early 90s, how music changed and the record companies changed. And I really never had a grasp on how horrible it was and how they were treated and how much money the managers and the record companies made. And,
everybody was taking a piece. Yeah.
These guys are broke. They should all be retired, with their toes in the sand and relaxing, and their money's going. If the record company didn't take it from them or the manager didn't take it from them,
well, you didn't think a lot of them didn't think they were going to live that long. That's like me. I didn't think I was going to live this long.
Because some of the things that I've read in some of these books, and these guys have put their bodies through just total punishment just to be able to get up on stage and do one more show. And the idea that they even have the brain to sit down and to write, a biography or whatever, just amazes me. And hang on 1 second. I got somebody yelling at me.
Okay.
What? Oh!
Well.
Okay, you know what?
Gino.
I hate to do this, but I've got to run.
Well, this was impromptu anyway. I didn't expect the show to go this way, but we had another Gino interview. I
love rapping with you on the show. I apologize for doing this, but I got some screaming going on upstairs, and I've got to run up and take care of some issues. So,
okay. All right, Gino.
It was great talking to you.
Great talking to you. And
the next time I talk to you, I'm gonna be Mr. Gino, the married dude. So,
well, congratulations.
That might be a great show. I'll tell you how the wedding went, and maybe have some good stories. When you get about 100 Italians in one room, there's going to be something happening. So,
Abbondanza.
It was good talk. It was good talking to you, David, and you have a good week, and have a good rest of the show. And I'll be looking for your upload later on the night because I'm up till 2 or 3 in the morning. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah. Cheers. It'll take a little while, but it'll be up. Okay. Take care, Gino.
Take care of yourself.
Okay. You too. All right. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Well, that was Gino the Hitman. Who else is going to call?